is probably really embarrassing for that program. Not too far. What was it? 2011, they won the state championship game to Santa Margarita.
Right.
Now all of a sudden they're losing back-to-back years against their rivals in the J-Sarah Lions, the mighty J-Sarah Lions, who have never made an appearance in the past 5 playoffs, but now they beat them back-to-back times, kind of that big brother, little brother rivalry, and the big brother right now, J-Sarah. So the Snakes over at Santa Margarita, I think they're the Eagles, but in this case, they're the Snakes. So they go Saturday morning, all upset about their loss to J-Sarah. And what do? They ride on in those fancy cars that they have over in Santa Margarita. They ride on down to Los Alamitos, and they what do? They go knock, knock, knock at the door of the CIF Southern section, and they say, "Hey, we got some inside information for you on those 6-0 J-Sarah Lions. They were playing with an quote-unquote ineligible player." So the CIF reviews it. Good old Tom Simmons reviews it. Comes to a conclusion Tuesday midday. Hey, J-Sarah, my bad. Didn't answer your phone call. Was busy handing out other things to other people. Was busy taking away from other schools and other broadcast groups. That, hey, we're going to let that win stand for you. Best of luck this week against St. John Bosco. You're 6-0, still in the top 10 nationally. The J-Sarah Lions, they almost were 6-0, but they found their way in. They are now 6-0, setting up a top 10 nationally ranked matchup this week at Orange Coast College against St. John Bosco.
Yeah, see,
I'm about to change this show from the discussion to the controversy. Chris, you had some comments on there. Go ahead, Nick.
You know, I was just saying, isn't it punishment enough that the Lions have to play St. John Bosco? I mean, talk about complete abuse. I'm sure the Braves are off of that nail-biting win, who many call should have went the Monarchs' way, including our lovely Rayshawn Haylock. There is some controversy as to whether they should have even won that football game. And personally, I'm sure J-Sarah will have the worst end of what is a Braves attack looking to cancel any sort of questions they have about that football team. That Bosco ball club, despite being young, they're getting more experience. That defense is playing a little bit better than it did against Bishop Gorman. And this is a team that's trying to win back-to-back Trinity League titles and enter into the playoffs as a top 10 state championship contender. Currently, they rank number 4 in the nation, taking on the J-Sarah Lions. We'll get your predictions from that in a moment. But first and foremost, we talked about the Eagles and their first to worst finish from a season ago. Santa Margarita with their lone win last year coming against J-Sarah, ironically. But J-Sarah or Servite, guys?
And who's the better team?
No, okay, you guys have no clue what I'm talking about. All right, well, Santa Margarita takes on Olu this coming Friday night. It is technically at Santa Margarita, according to Max Preps, but that's not exactly where it's being played at. But a matchup of 4-2 ball clubs, guys, and the loser of this matchup falls to 0-2 in Trinity League play, where I mean, if you aren't able to win a game or two here in this league, you can very well be out of the playoff picture, despite it being the best league in the nation. And we'll start with Chris Sylvester here, who this time I have no Jaws music for, hopefully not nearly as depressing. Olu and Santa Margarita, the winner stays afloat in the Trinity League.
And the winner will be, drum roll please, thank you very much, the Orange Lutheran Lancers. They nearly knocked off the Servite Friars this past weekend. Weren't able to get it done. They're battle tested. They're only 2 losses of the year. 3-point loss to Servite, 3-point loss to Corona Centennial in overtime. I like Olu in this one. They actually have a quarterback that can pass the football this year, which will certainly help their cause. Of course, Orange Lutheran coach Chuck Peterson, they run the triple option over there. I don't think Santa Margarita is going to be able to stop it. Can't get over the fact that Santa Margarita squeaked by Dorsey. Okay, the Trinity League team, right, in the modern day, should never struggle with a team like Dorsey High School, who, by the way, just lost to Crenshaw 23-7 to open up city section play. I like Olu in this one. They should, could, would be 2-0 in Trinity League play. Things didn't go their way against Servite. They get their first league victory this week and head in Bellflower, Father Frank Roboto Field, next week with a little bit of confidence and a chip on their shoulder after losing a halftime lead last year against the national champion St. John Bosco Braves. As far as the score goes, I'll give you this: Orange Lutheran 42, Santa Margarita 21. It's not even close. Wow, 2 for the Eagles of Santa Margarita.
What's ironic is that Santa Margarita, Dan, I'll get to you in just a moment, but Margarita's ranked 25 spots higher in the nation than the Lancers. And what's funny is we send it back down to Dan, is that, boy, Orange Lutheran is playing like a team that can contest very much with the number 9 spot that Jay Serra has here in this Trinity League.
Boy, both of you are on point, and you guys both bring up great points. This is a game neither team can afford to lose. Unfortunately, one has to. I mean, the loser goes 0-2, and with games still against Modern Day and St. John Bosco for both teams, it doesn't get any easier. So this is a must-win for both teams. And look what happened to Jay Serra last year. A team that won its last 2 games in the Trinity, the only 2 games in the Trinity League it won, at 7-3. It didn't make the playoffs over a team that went 4-6 in Cresty. So this is crucial.
Hey, that's the good old CIF for you.
Yeah. As Chris continues to talk about the good old CIF. But I also got to agree with Chris. I feel like Orange Lutheran is the scrappier team with the, this is what they do. They run the option. They're a run-heavy team, and I feel like Servite late in the fourth quarter will die out. I've got it way closer to Chris does. I've got it 35-28. The Lancers will win. This is a team that's blown out everybody they've had to blow out. They whooped on Dominguez. They've whooped on Yorba Linda, Cabrillo, Vista Marietta, the only loss is Centennial, and of course Servite last week. So this is a team that can bang with the best of them, and I got them beating Servite 35-28.
I have Orange Lutheran winning as well, a clean sweep 30-20 final score. Santa Margarita has gone from first to worst. I mean, boy, has that been a turnaround for them. Meanwhile, a ball club trying to avenge a Week 1 loss as well. Modern Day Monarchs, they host the number 20 ranked team in the nation, the Servite Friars. Game of the week, absolutely, Chris. And it's a game that's decided by a couple of all-pro quarterbacks that will be, lighten up that scoreboard at will.
Yeah, right. We saw what Jack Lowry could do against St. John Bosco. Let me go back to my stat sheet. Handy dandy, made fresh from Nick Rice production. 342 yards and a touchdown, 22 of 30 passing against the St. John Bosco defense. Really impressive numbers from Jack Lowry. Can he hold on to the football against the Servite Friars? That's the big question. Modern Day, their defense, it's supposed to be really good, and they were good at times last week against St. John Bosco. You think about it, they only allowed 21 points to the Bosco offense, which is really impressive. But Kalen Franklin had a field day against them. I'll take Equinamius St. Brown over Kalen Franklin as far as receivers go. Come on. Why do you sound surprised? Equinamius St. Brown is one of the top wideout receivers in the country. No disrespect at all to Kalen Franklin, is making a name for himself now as league play starts. What a time to do it. I'm sure the offers will start to roll in for him at some point or another. But Equinamius St. Brown, he's on another level, Dan Gadino. Travis Waller, although Jack Lowry is good, he's on another level. Dan Gadino, he's going to the University of Oregon next year. He's going to be running with the Ducks. He might be Marcus Mariota's replacement, and he just might get it done this week against Modern Day. I got Servite in the upset, if you want to call it that. Modern Day, they start 5-0. They start Trinity League play, the number 1 team in SoCal. They're falling like the Twin Towers do excuse me, the Hollywood Tower of Terror is what I meant to say, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let me stop you before you keep going. I mean, let me remind
Before CAF gets you arrested.
The last time they played, Mater Dei won 28-21 in a close one. And here's another thing. This is the team that went on to play St. John Bosco in the Pac-5 title game. Did you forget about that? I mean, Mater Dei, I guarantee.
Hey, well, I think we got to start having this show earlier at night because this thing lately. Can I just make my score prediction real quick? I got the Mighty Friars of Servite 31-21 over Mater Dei. Okay, let me continue. Well, funny because last week Mater Dei lost and Servite won, and they both to a final score of 28-25. So I thought that was cool. Just wanted to throw that in. Both of them with the final score of 28-25. But there is no way Jack Lowry will fumble a ball ever again. I guarantee Bruce Rawlinson has Jack Lowry prepared. I got Mater Dei in another close one. Same score as last year, 28-21. Nick.
I have to agree with you, Dan, as go ahead, Chris, your lone wolf chant. Go ahead and let us all know that you're the only one predicting an upset here in this matchup. Servite, in no reason, I believe, should even be in this football game. Mater Dei wins 31-21.
I just think Servite's a little bit more battle-tested than Mater Dei. The losses to Bishop Gorman and De La Salle, two teams in the top 5 nationally. I don't know about Mater Dei. The Collins injury is really going to cost them as far as their receiving core goes, and there goes that receiving core in the background right there on the motorcycle there for the Mater Dei Monarchs. You're gonna hear the chants of the Servite crowd louder than our background noise right here at the studio just now. I like Servite in this one. Servite they entered the year as the favorites, some might say, in the Trinity League, and they moved to 2-0 and make the Halloween matchup a little bit more spooky against St. John Bosco.
Nothing's more creepy than nothing's more.
Well, I'm not on a roll tonight. This Glenn Towers thing, I'm getting tweets and emails, and I am stepping down from the national sports studio. No, I mean we got what, 2 listeners on right now. We appreciate it.
Well, nothing's more creepy than listening to Chris here late at night go on his spiel as the Braves, led by play-by-play man Chris Sylvester, take on the J. Sarah Lions. Chris, you're one of the two, along with Dan Gadino, who last week only went 2-1 in their prediction segment. Of course, I went 3-0, given that I'm about as good as they get as far as experts go. But I don't think you can fool yourself at all. I think the Braves, even though both teams come in at a 1-0 league mark, and St. John Bosco has that lone loss against what many call the national champions now, if they're able to just win the remainder of their games, Braves and the Lions, winner remains unbeaten in the Trinity League.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite the matchup. Some people might say I don't see it being a close game. I don't. I think St. John Bosco, they have their way offensively with J. Sarah, and J. Sarah, they'll get their fair share of points, but they won't be able to do much at the end of the day. Although it is a quote-unquote road game for St. John Bosco, you look at the site in Costa Mesa, it's about halfway in between J. Sarah and San Juan Capistrano, and the St. John Bosco and Bellflower. I think it's going to be a very even crowd in that one. J. Sarah, they didn't bring out a lot of fans last year at Saddleback when they took on St. John Bosco, so I don't think the home field is going to play a factor of any kind. I think J. Sarah, sure, they're 6-0, but they've had to deal with a lot this week, everything that happened with the potential of them having to forfeit the game. So I like St. John Bosco in this one. I don't see St. John Bosco losing this game any type of way. This is a 100% win for me for St. John Bosco. No matter what happens in this game, I like the Braves, and I'll give you my score. I say St. John Bosco puts up a pretty 49-17